Hi everyone, my name is Avery and welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I did this very neutral look using the Anastasia Sultry palette, and of course if you don't have that palette you can pull other colors from other palettes that are similar to the shades that I'm using if you wanted to. You don't have to have the Anastasia palette, I just use it because those are some of my favorite palettes. I have a bunch of different brands on my face right now, so I'll be explaining those and what I'm using throughout the video and how I'm doing it and my technique. Thank you guys so much for watching and stay tuned to see how I did this look. Okay, so I know we switched rooms. I'm now in my room sitting on the floor doing my makeup, and it has really bad lighting, so I apologize. That's why I went to film the intro and the outro in my mom's room. I'm going in first with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe, and I'm just going to shape and fill in my eyebrows with that. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer in shade 120, and I'm going to bounce that all over my eyelids to give it a nice clean base for my eyeshadow so that it sticks, and also to get rid of all the discoloration on my eyelids that would show through some of the eyeshadow colors. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Birch and I'm going to blend that into my crease using a Tarte Unicorn brush. It just came with a set, and also the Anastasia blending brush that comes with every Anastasia palette. I really like this blending brush and I use it literally every single time I do my eyeshadow. So I'm just going to blend that into my crease. So now I'm going to go in with my Moda Pro BMX 466 shading brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of Birch and blend that into my low crease. And I had a little bit of a weird line on my right eye, as you can see, so I'm just going to take my Anastasia blending brush and really blend that in with the other color that we took all the way up, so there's no harsh lines, so that I can get rid of that weird line. I'm now switching to the shade Dystopian, and I'm taking my Luxie 207T travel size brush, and I'm going to put that into the outer corners of my eyelid. And I like to start with like a tipped over V shape and then fill in as I need. And I'm going to take my Anastasia blending brush and blend in the rest of my eyeshadows and blend in the color. And then I'm also going to blend it out a little bit on the top so that it kind of ombres into my skin and we don't have a super fine, harsh line on the top. I next am going to dip into a glitter shade that's called Steampunk, which is super pretty gold glitter, and I'm going to take my finger to do this. I like doing that because it gives more of a color and you can just pat it on. It gives a lot of product on your eye at one time, whereas using your brush, you sometimes have to work with it a lot more and it doesn't give as much of a vibrant color. And then I'm going to take a different finger and I'm going to pat it in around the edges, around the top, and around to blend it into that brown color so that we don't have a super harsh line of glitter. Before putting on my foundation, I'm going to take a little bit of the Too Faced Hangover RX primer and just rub that into my skin to give it a nice tacky finish for my foundation. For foundation, I'm using the Hourglass Vanish foundation stick in the shade Cream, and since this is a foundation stick, I normally would take a little bit of another liquid or spray foundation to help blend it in, but I'm not going anywhere today. I'm just staying in my house, quarantined for coronavirus, so we're just going to put on just this foundation for now. I have really red cheeks, so I'm going to put on a lot on my cheeks. It's a pretty medium to full coverage foundation, but I have trouble covering up my rosiness with a lot of foundation, so I'm just going to take a little bit of working. I'm going to blend this in with a beauty blender, and normally I would say just to blend and bounce, but you can pull it a little bit with this one and move it around to help get the foundation all over your face instead of just staying in little dots on the face. I'm then going to take it down my jawline and a little bit behind my ear just to blend it in with my neck because nobody wants a Too Faced foundation. And I use a little bit more foundation than the normal average person, and it takes me a little while to work this in. So definitely make sure that if you're going to use this, you have some time to spare. I realized that my eyeshadow needed a little bit more blending, so I took my Anastasia brush and just blended it over the top of my eyeshadow towards my eyebrow. I'm going to go back to the same Fenty Beauty concealer, and I'm just going to put little dots all around my under eyes, and I'm going to blend it in, and then I'll add more as needed. I have really bad dark circles and a little bit of bags, so I like a really full coverage concealer. This is a super full coverage concealer, and it's super creamy, and this is my favorite concealer that I've ever used. So for setting powder, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder in the shade 10. And I'm going to take my Beauty Blender and I'm just going to put a line under my under eyes to bake that. And also I have really bad smile lines, so my foundation tends to sink into those lines throughout the day. So I'm going to bake a little bit of the corners of my mouth too, so that hopefully can stop the creasing. It normally doesn't, but you know, it helps throughout the day. So while that's setting, I'm going to take the excess powder that's on my Beauty Blender and just tap it into my forehead. And then I'm going to take a Crown Cosmetics brush and I'm just going to take some other powder and go into the areas that I know that I can get without dusting up all the stuff that I'm baking. And then we'll go back in later to redo all the lines right between the baking powder and just the normal setting powder. So after I let my face bake for a couple minutes, I'm now going to go and take that same Crown Cosmetics brush and just brush off all the baking powder, brush it off under my under eyes, and then I'm going to go in and take more of that setting powder and just get the lines right on the edge of where the powder was baking and where I didn't get to get powder, or else it would wipe off. So I'm going to go in and do all that. For bronzer, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Soleil bronzer and the Too Faced Mr. Right brush. And this bronzer is a little dark for my skin tone, so I'm just going to lightly tap my brush in and then tap off all the excess and lightly just go over my skin, and not trying to get a too harsh of a line or too deep of a bronzer because that's really hard to fix. And then we're going to take the same brush that we use for setting powder and just blend it out a little bit. We're also going to take some bronzer and put it up onto our forehead just to give us a little bit of color over there, and I'm also going to blend that out with the powder brush as well. The blush that I'm going to be using today is the Note Luminous Silk Compact Blusher in the shade Desert Rose, and I'm going to be using my Luxie 522 blush, and I'm going to be smiling just to get it on the rose of my cheeks, and I'm also going to bring a little bit onto my nose, and then I'm going to take the same brush that we used to blend out our bronzer and used to put on the setting powder, and I'm just going to blend that out as well to make sure that we don't have any harsh lines. Okay, so today I'm going to be using the Too Faced Love Light Prismatic Highlighter in the shade Blinded by the Light with the IT Cosmetics V17 brush. And I'm just going to be taking that on the tops of my cheeks and a little bit around my eyelids and towards my eyebrows just to give me a nice glow. And I'm going to go over it twice because I'm really a sucker for highlighter and I love, love, love a blinding highlight. So I'm going to use kind of a lot. I'm going to take some and brush a tiny, tiny bit above my eyebrows. And I'm also going to take my finger and do it onto my nose and blend that out. And then I'm also going to take my finger and put it on the top of my lip a little bit. I'm going to grab my Moda Pro BMX 420 detail brush, and I'm going to take a little bit of twig and blend that into my lower lash line, and then take that up to the outer corner of my eyeshadow and blend that in as well. I'm going to dip back into that Too Faced highlighter and put it on the arch of my brow with some brush that I've had since like 6th grade. I don't remember the brand, I'm sorry. And just put that on the arch of my brow and blend it out a little bit. I don't want to put it all under my brow, just around the arch and the tail. We're next going to go back into the Sultry palette and take a little bit of the pearl color, and we're going to put that on our inner corners. I start by taking the first dip and putting it right on my inner corners, and then I'll take it up a little bit onto my eyelid and a little bit onto my lower lash line to just blend it in a little bit and make it look like a nice transition. Next, I grabbed an eyeliner to put on my waterline. It's the Jante Blue eyeliner in the shade Dark Brown. I'm just going to line my waterline with that and make it a little bit more of a dark defined brown color on my lower lash line. Excuse my face while I'm doing this, I know it looks weird. For the final touch for eyes, I'm going to take the Glossier Lash Slick Mascara and put that on my eyelashes. I normally do 2 coats, so that's what I'm going to do here, and then I'll go in and put some on my lower lashes. My makeup in place for the day, I'm going to take the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray Mist and just put that all over my face. Lastly, I'm going to take a lipstick. It's a liquid lipstick from ColourPop in the shade Strip and apply that all over my lips. I personally don't overline my lips, but if you want to, you're more than welcome to. Watching. I hope you enjoyed this look and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you want to be seeing in the future, or like what else you would like to see differently, and what you liked about this video, what you didn't like. Let me know. I want to know all of it. Let me know what kind of products you want me to be playing around with in the future, and what other brands or what other things you want me to try. What other looks would be good too, and what other colors you'd like to see in the future for my eyeshadow. I kind of have a lot of everything, so I have a lot of different brands right now, so let me know what brands you want me to play around with. And you can follow me on Instagram at avery.b319. You can follow me on TikTok at avery319. I have a couple makeup stuff up there, and I have a ton of different looks on my Instagram too, so if you want to see any of those that I'm wearing, you can just let me know. Hopefully I remember. Bye everybody, have a great day.